What's up, y'all? Welcome to Skyler's Music Studio. We're going to continue our musical journey and start with our stretching and balancing, do our breathing exercises, and some ear training before we jump into the warm-ups. I want to review a few of those warm-ups we did in the past in previous videos, but I'm going to add some new, more challenging ones in this one. And I want to give you guys some tips on how to approach songs that I think will really help you in any song selection. So I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so as before, you want to make sure that you are relaxed when you're singing. You want to make sure you're centered and balanced. So you just want to start twisting your ankles. Remember, when you stand, you want to stand shoulder width apart. Stretch out your legs, your knees, your hips, all of that good stuff. This is definitely something that I do before I perform, for sure, and sometimes before I know I'm about to have a long rehearsal. And it helps me get ready because singing is a very active activity. So once you're all stretched out, let's get to breathing. All right, so let's get into breathing. Learning how to control your diaphragm is the most important thing you could do as a singer. It helps you with so much. So that's why I focus a lot on breathing in my private lessons and in this video. So last time we took in a breath and we held out the note. This time we're going to take in a breath and we're going to pulse the note, kind of like we did with our snake pulses. And you kind of want to feel your diaphragm working. You want to feel it moving, going in and out and everything. So we're going to breathe in for 10 counts, hold our breath. I'm going to pick a random note out of the sky and we're just going to pulse it. Take in as much air as you possibly can. That 10 counts, but don't go too fast because you want to make sure that you are learning to control it. Think about if you were singing a long phrase, you have to have enough air to get through that phrase. So, and with the wall, you want to be able to hear your resonation bounce back at you. All right, we're going to breathe in for 10. Ready and breathe. So with that, the whole goal is to stay on the note, punch it. We're singing staccato, that is the technical term. How to punch in that note really short. And yeah. All right, you guys, so let's do a little bit of ear training. I'm gonna do a few notes. Just match me, sing it on la. We're going to do because you want to make sure you stay on key, whether you're singing with a band or an instrumental. Really understand the notes that are in the key, be able to hear it and hear when you're off as well. So to further get into some of this ear training, we're going to do a little bit of solfege. We're going to sing the major scale on numbers and then on solfege. So I'm going to start down a half. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now do it on solfege. I'm going to go a little slow. Let's do the Trill Glissando. Let's do loosen up our face a little bit before we get into these more challenging warm-ups. We're going to start off low, go high, go back low. We're going to do the 5-note scale descending. So we're going to start at the top, work our way down. This warm-up is that you start at the highest note, so you really have to make sure that you are prepared for that high note right off the bat, which may be like some phrases in certain songs that you may sing. Alright, so we're going to do arpeggios now. We're going to do the same thing we did with the 5-note scale. We're going to sing it on numbers and then on solfege. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1 on solfege. Do, mi, sol, mi, do. 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 So the next one up we're going to do is descending arpeggios. This is a little bit more challenging because of the interval. It's not like going steps like a scale, and you're starting at the highest notes. You have to be ready. La, 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 la. Tips on how to approach a song. This can be for any genre. This is what I did a lot when I was in school studying classical music, but it's still the same thing I do when I'm approaching new songs, whether it be jazz, R&B, soul, pop, anything. So what I do once I pick the song, I listen to it and I try to understand what the artist is doing so I can eventually learn to master it their way and then make it my own. I think it's very, very important to learn how the original person sang it, because that's why it's a classic. You want to be able to do those things that they're doing with their voice, whether it be a tone, whether it be how they're singing a high note, how they're delivering it. You can learn a lot from studying songs and particular artists. So after I kind of listen to it a lot and just keep it in my rotation, then I look at the words. My main focus is to memorize the words before I do anything really. So I am writing the words down because that's how I memorize. You can memorize many different ways, but how I do it is writing it down. You can say them over and over. Even listening to them will help you memorize the words as well. After doing that, I learn the rhythm of the song. Some songs can be pretty wordy. I've had some students that have had songs where they were really fast and very wordy, and we had to focus on diction and everything. So I kind of work on the rhythm of it so we can make sure that we're speaking it correctly before we even approach singing it correctly. So I speak through the words. After I learn the words, I clap rhythm. And I want to make sure, I like getting sheet music a lot so I can clap out the rhythm, especially if it's a new song that I haven't really heard. I might sing it a few times with the original track, with the artist singing it, so I can make sure I'm singing it the same way they're doing it. Once I feel confident that I know it and I'm good, I'll find an instrumental or accompany myself on the piano and sing it through. And I maybe sing through it just to see how I feel about it. But how I work through songs is section by section. So if the song starts with the first verse, that's what I'm focusing on for that session. I'm focusing on making sure I am breathing. And it's a really good thing to print out lyric sheets and put commas in between those phrases that you're going to need a breath. And even put a BB, big breath, where there are places where you need to prepare extra for a high note or for a longer phrase or something like that. So I hope these tips help. It's really important to not only just sing through songs, but to really study and understand what it is you're doing and how you're delivering it. After learning the song, it's also emoting those words and understanding what they mean. But you want to be able to speak to the audience, not just sing a song. I used to sing almost karaoke style, where it was just like, I would just sing through the song, and it was just like, I wasn't thinking about anything. Nothing was going on in my mind except maybe trying to figure out what's the next line. But now it's like, okay, I'm thinking about the emotions that are tied to the song. I never get on stage without being fully prepared. I will work on a song for months before getting on stage. So that's the kind of preparation, especially if you're trying to be a professional, that you need to have if you want to be successful. It really takes a lot of time, discipline, and dedication. So hope these tips help, and I will see you next time. And you can always follow me on all social media at I am Skyler Reed, as well as my Instagram studio page at Skyler's Music Studio. And if you are interested in signing up for online lessons or in-person lessons in Atlanta, Georgia, you can go to skylersmusicstudio.com.
Don't you see the signs? Everything's aligned.